Chapter 28. Enmity. Lucifer was also present during this conversation. There is a clear distinction in the record that, unlike Adam and Eve, Lucifer was indeed cursed and cast out of heaven for good. And when my father saw that his great pride and his wickedness and evil-doing were complete, he commanded all the armies of heaven to remove the writing that is in the hand of the proud one. Strip off his armor and cast him upon the earth, for his time has come. And the apparel of their glorious state was stripped from him, and his name was changed to Satan because he turned aside from the right way. Here, we see that Lucifer and his hosts were stripped of their creative power and their ability to fly, confining them to this world. On thy belly thou shalt go. They would have to trudge on foot through the earth. The angelic symbol for the station that both Jesus and Lucifer possessed in the premortal world was that of a seraph, which was a winged serpent or what we would depict as a dragon. This is not literal. They were human beings, but the wings symbolized being able to travel through space to many worlds. Neither Lucifer nor any of his followers ever possessed the power to create. However, they did have the power to possess others' creations. God protected humanity from this intrusion when Satan vowed that he and his angels would take possession of Adam and Eve's posterity. In response to Satan's threat, Jehovah put enmity between Satan and the seed of the woman so that he would have no power over humanity that they did not consent to. The word enmity has two meanings. In the context spoken by Jehovah to Satan, I will place enmity between thee and the seed of the woman. It barred him from possessing physical bodies without consent. But then we see Satan use the same word in a different context when he says he will use enmity, meaning pride in this context, to cause sin and chaos in the world. The Hebrew scriptures are written poetically, and the double, and sometimes triple, meanings of words and phrases are common. This statement equally applies to the seed of the woman, referring to Christ himself, and that Satan would have the ability to bruise Christ's heel, but Christ would have the ability to crush Satan's head. The beauty of the Hebrew scriptures is the fact that all of the interpretations of this statement are true. The Eternal repelled the threats of the enemy with the following words, "Human beings belong to me, for I have bought them with my blood." And Satan was forced to depart. God drove him away from Adam and Eve. Then Satan went away ashamed of not having wrought out his design. Then Satan lamented, "I have been expelled from my glory, which I possessed in the heavens among the angels. I went forth from my dwelling and was alienated from the throne of the cherubs. God became angry with me and cast me and my angels who agreed with me to the earth." God explained to Adam, "As long as the good angel was obedient to me, a bright light rested on him and his host. But when he transgressed my commandments, I deprived him of that bright nature, and he became dark. And when he was in the heavens, in the realms of light, he knew nothing of darkness. But he transgressed, and fell from heaven onto the earth. And it was this darkness that came over him." Early on, Lucifer was the first angel formed by the Father after Jehovah. He became commander-in-chief of all the angels that were created, including Adam. Lucifer did not keep the faith and had no good intention towards me. Although I had created him, he considered me to be useless and sought the Godhead for himself. For this, I hurled him down from heaven. In essence, God told Lucifer, "Since you have become stubborn and disobedient, you will not be called Lucifer, the light-bearer, but Satan, the accuser." Name changes by God are significant. This officially demoted him from his angelic status, in the same way that Abraham, or Jacob Israel, promoted them to a higher status. Lucifer had already lost his chance to progress into a second estate. He now ceded his former glory as an angel, along with his power and priesthood. Reflecting on this tragic downfall, Isaiah wrote, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. They that see thee shall look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" Apocryphal texts indicate that Adam inherited Lucifer's responsibilities after Lucifer's fall from grace. These accounts suggest that the order of God's spirit children was Jehovah, then Lucifer, then Michael. Lucifer's pride from below caused him to covet Jesus' position as the chosen savior for this world. His pride caused him to falter early on in the plan of salvation, perhaps being the reason he was excluded from participating in the creation narrative as we know it. Later, we read that his pride from above caused him to resent Michael for being chosen over him to be the first human flesh. He refused to pay homage to a being younger and inferior to himself. Just like the scriptural motifs, he refused to follow his younger brother as his leader. One of the archangel Michael's responsibilities is to govern the powers of death. Apocryphal accounts always depict Lucifer and Michael at odds over the pit of death. Michael cast Lucifer out of heaven, and he will be the one to eventually put Lucifer into the bottomless pit and bind him there for the 1,000-year millennium. It is worth noting that had Lucifer not fallen from grace, he would likely have assisted Jehovah in creating the world and would have retained his role as the first man to live on earth. But God is no respecter of persons. He places qualified individuals in roles that suit them best, based on their skills and interests. From the time of the first council, when the plan was presented, God could see that Lucifer was struggling with pride and was on a slippery slope to rebellion. Lucifer took a back seat during the creation phase, but it wasn't until the 6th day of creation that he rebelled and caused his angels to rebel as well. Unfortunately for them, this was a crucial moment where the first estate's judgment was set to take place. We can learn from this story that God will ask us to do certain things in life. These may come in the form of trials, challenges, or even callings. We can choose to perform well in these tasks, or we can neglect our responsibilities. God will then find someone else to fill our shoes. Either way, his work will go forward. We can choose whether to assist and participate in his great work, or we can choose to watch others fill our shoes and receive the blessings that God intended for us.